actually was needing to make some orders. Where is it? Come on. So as you come in, be sure you let me know you're there, and let me know how your holiday was. And I'm going to be working on the pro bow today, and I've got a patriotic bow and a Christmas bow to make. And it's a returning customer, and she wanted a smaller size of some bows I had. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for her and get them off in the mail today. So, all right, looks like we're up and running. So who else there? Hey Cindy, how are you? I feel like I haven't talked to you guys forever. So anyway, I'm gonna do the Christmas bow first, and it's a lime green and red, kind of traditional, although my son does not think lime green is traditional Christmas, but I kind of count it as. He thinks lime it has to be emerald green to be traditional, but I don't know, I see a lot of lime green and red being used out there. So anyway, this is actually the inspiration for the bow that back when I started making this bow 2 or 3 years ago, but it's always been a good seller for me. And I've got a polka dot. I've got now this plaid. This is the very last I've got of this. I got this a long time ago. Just bought it locally. It's a really nice ribbon, but I'm hoping I have enough of it. If not, I've got a backup plan, and I always put that when I do multiples of different bows and such. I always put a backup plan in there, and I've got a couple of red velvets here. So, hey Nancy, how are you? Did you have a good holiday? All right, so I'm going to start with the 1.5 inch ribbon first, and as always, when I'm making bows, I usually don't look up and answer questions while I'm in the middle of doing the bows, but if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and after I get done, I will come back and answer as best I can. So, trying to get things pulled up here. Come on. Hang on, the computer's being difficult here. There we go. So anyway, I'm going to start off with my smallest ribbon. That's going to be the innermost on the Pro Bow, which is the opposite of the Easy Bow Maker. Easy Bow Maker, you start out with the bottom ribbon first. This one, you're going to start with the top ribbon first. And she's wanting a smaller bow. Like I said, she wants an 8-inch bow. So I've moved this into the B range here. And each bow is going to have 5 ribbons, so it should measure out just about to 8 inches. She wants these for her lantern. So let me see, I'm going to have to adjust my tails too. So who all has their Christmas decor up and done? I am so far behind, it's not even funny. I usually have at least a couple of trees up by now, and I don't even have my first one done. We're going to start out here in the middle peg. I've got 26 gauge ribbon, or I'm sorry, 26 gauge wire that I cut to 26-inch length. So I've got 2 strands of that. I'm just going to wrap this around the center here. And there's lots of different ways to make a bow on the Pro Bow. This one, this method, I'm going to be using making a center loop, and so it's a little bit different than what you may have learned, but it works for this style bow. But yeah, my home is a disaster area right now. I have, like I said, I have no trees done. I have one about halfway done. My goal is to get that finished today. All right, I've got to look at this order sheet, guys. I can't remember which bow or which ribbon comes next. Okay, that's what I thought. This one. I really like this one. It's pretty unique. It's actually a felt ribbon. Has a good wire. The felt doesn't have a whole lot of body to it, but the wire holds it up good. All right. And again, I need to stay small here. Sometimes I think it's harder to make a smaller bow than it is to make a large bow. Are you all done, Cindy? Good for you. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not paying attention. I need to run this down through the center here. Just taking that wire right down the center of this bow. And if you want detailed pro bow instruction, I know Regina Sellers, she's the maker of the pro bow. She has a lot of tutorials on her site, and I do as well on my business pages. Like I said, this one's more, I'm just kind of touching base with everybody. Haven't talked to you forever. And I'll kind of talk as I go through, but it's not going to be as detailed of a tutorial as I usually do on these, because I need to get these done. Got lots of stuff to do. Get up there. Hey Amanda, hey Keith, how are you? Thank you for following. All right, I'm gonna have to really work at getting this in here. This is, like I said, my little sausage fingers, sometimes it's harder to make a small bow than it is to make a large one. But we're gonna get it done. So who else is still working on leftover turkey? We had a real small get-together this year compared to what we usually have. There's only 6 of us, and then my 2-year-old grandson, and nobody took food with them when they left, and we had a ton of food left over, as usual. All right, let me look and see what ribbon needs to come next. Hold on, I don't want to show her name here. Okay, polka dot comes next. Hey Sue. You haven't tried yours yet? Oh goodness, you got to try it. I love the pro bow. It's actually the way I finally was able to make bows. When I first started wreath making, I could not make a bow to save my life, and so I discovered the pro bow, and I have to say there is a learning curve with it, and I'm hard-headed enough. I was determined that it was not going to get the better of me. And so it took me about 3 days of just watching video after video and practice and just over and over. And finally, it was like the light bulb clicked or went off. And it just really makes nice bows. But it just takes patience, like anything. Patience and persistence. But it makes some really pretty bows. But this order is for a lantern bow. She, like I said, she wanted it smaller than my normal. All right. Red velvet comes next. She wanted it smaller. She also bought the larger bow, which the larger bow is about 11 to 12 inches. And she wanted a smaller one to go with it. Hey, Ringo. Thank you guys for the follows. I really appreciate that. I've got 5 different ribbons here that we'll use on both bows. Like I said, I've got a patriotic I need to do also. Same customer. This is really a nice outdoor red velvet. You can tell that it's outdoor because it has kind of a plastic feel to it, to the backing. But it's really a nice ribbon. So who else out there uses the Pro Bow? I make bows all different ways. I make them, my preference is handmade. Did I miss a loop? Oh my goodness, I sure did. Okay, I got to start over here. Well, not over, but I missed a peg. See, that's what happens when I talk and I'm creating. All right. Easy fix. At least I'm glad I caught it now instead of waiting until I fluffed it. It's just right here. I went ahead to the wrong peg. Needed to go right there. All right, now back up. Okay. And we'll pinch it, and we're going to twist it. And go to the next peg. And we're going to pinch it. Twist it. Okay. And I broke my wire. Okay, guys, we got to start over. I use 26 gauge wire because it is, it's really easy to get good and tight around the ribbon. But when I undid that, my wire broke. And that is the hazard of using the 26 gauge wire. All right, we'll go ahead and put that one back up there. In fact, I've pulled on this and pulled it apart before. But, and that's the reason I do, like when I go to ship off a bow that I make with the 26 gauge wire, I always put a zip tie on it instead, just to make sure it doesn't break. So let's go down here, start over here. All right, now, goodness sakes. You guys won't believe me, I do this all the time, will you? Hundreds of times. All right, there we go. Now we should be good. Oh my gosh. Need to shut up and focus here, guys. Now, the polka dot. You guys will have to keep me accountable here. Make sure I hit all of my pegs. You'll see my tails are a little bit uneven now since we missed that one peg. I'll just have to go back there and fix that. All right, now we're back where we were. Phew. Now let's get the red velvet. Put that up there. And this is where I figured out I messed up. Just trying to think. I messed up on something really big time. Yes. Oh, I know what it was. I was making a lantern swag that it used to be one of my best sellers, and somebody ordered it, and I tell you what, every time I turned around I was doing another step wrong on it. I had to start over. All right, now we'll come back here and we're going to hope that we have enough of this plaid ribbon. I think we do, since it's a smaller bow. Hey, sissy. Nancy, you just had your last turkey sandwich. Good. We're getting low. I'm going to say tonight or tomorrow, hopefully we'll be done. All right, this is the last ribbon on this bow. Who says their dining room looks like a hurricane Granny went through Maryland? Hey, I'm right there with you. Well, I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. Make that loop or tail just a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, we're going to have plenty of this ribbon. But it'll be the end of it. It's such a pretty ribbon. Like I said, I've had it for years. I don't know if they make it anymore or not. I'll have to check, because it's really a nice sturdy canvas and really pretty. There, we got through it. Okay, now let's cut this tail. Now we got to get it off of the board. I just squeeze it tight. The key here is keeping it straight. You want the middle of your bow straight. It has a tendency to go off to one side or the other, and that's going to make your bow all wonky. Usually what I do, I'll come in here after I get it off the board and just kind of give it a squeeze. Tighten it just a little bit more. All right, let's go ahead and fluff it now. Get my fluff box. And like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments, and I'll look up every now and then and answer. All right, now, like I said, with this 26 gauge wire, I usually will go ahead and put a zip tie there, because I don't want my customer to have a broken bow. Let's get a pipe cleaner. I just use these little clear ones. They're not visible when you get the bow all fluffed out. But like I said, I prefer, I mean, you can use 24 gauge wire. 24 is a little bit thicker than 26 gauge. But it's just a little bit more difficult to really wrap it tight around those ribbons. If you do the zip tie here, you want to put it on before you fluff it. I mean, it's doable if you forget, which I do that sometimes, but it's just a lot easier if you do it at this stage. All right, now let's fluff it out. And you guys, if you have a Pro bow and you don't have a fluff box, I didn't get one of these for the longest time. It's just a really heavy box, but and then it just frees up your hands where you can do such a better job at fluffing your bow. We're just taking our loops and our tails opposite directions. But I know whenever I used to do bow videos all the time, every week, I kind of got burnt out of doing it, so I haven't done it as much. But I'm going to trim this tail here. But I always heard people comment, "I've got a Pro bow, but I haven't ever taken it out of the box." But I challenge you to do that because you're going to love it. All right, let's come this way. I dovetailed that satin. I didn't mean to do that because it's going to double up on itself. I'm going to cut it at an angle. Like I said, I can't talk and create at the same time, it looks like. All right, let's go to this one. Isn't that a cute little bow? All right, and this is the one tail I told you we were going to have to even up here. All right. Oh, it's still a little bit short, or it's a little bit long. Let me trim it one more time here. Cute, cute, cute. All right. I'm going to measure that just to make sure it's about 8 inches. Is what she wanted. It's a little bit over. A little bit over. Let's see if I fluff these these loops up. If we can get it to 8 inches. I think we can. It's just not that much over. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, then I come back here and I trim off this wire tail that I have here. And then I just tuck that underneath so nobody gets poked with that wire. Okay. So there we go. There's the Christmas one. Now, like I said, I've got a patriotic one I need to do too. Hey, you guys, thank you. Thank you for following. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you for the hearts. All right, let's go ahead and do the patriotic one now. I'll put this one off to the side. The ribbons aren't quite as thick on this one, so this one should be a little bit smoother. And I always get the question about, should I take my off-season products out from my Etsy shop? And this is one reason I say no, don't ever. Leave everything in there, because you never know what people are going to buy, when they're going to buy it, what they're shopping for. I need to get me another piece of wire here, since I had to use that one. But I've sold Halloween in February before. Just sold this patriotic a couple days ago. One of the ladies in my private group, she sold patriotic on Thanksgiving Day. Patriotic kind of, though, is kind of every day. You just, you know, you got veterans out there that may have passed, or maybe somebody wants to honor somebody. And so you can pretty much count on having patriotic all year long. Oh, thank you, Mona. Thank you. Hey, Tammy. All right. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Yeah, here's my patriotic. I just need to refresh my memory what ribbons go when. Okay. And again, we'll start with a small inner loop. And it's this, I like to use this lame. It has some sparkle to it, and it's really a nice ribbon. I get it every single year. And has really good body to it. We're going to take get this ready. And I do not dovetail this. I cut it at an angle because it will just kind of curl up on itself. I'll lay that down here. Again, small bow. Pinch it, wrap this wire. We're going to come up here around that middle peg. I'll pinch again. Let me get these wires separated. There we go. Wrap that around that top loop, or top peg. Thank you guys for all the follows. I appreciate that. Now, like I said, I used to do bow making on every Tuesday. And then kind of got myself burnt out on doing it. I mean, I still make bows, don't get me wrong, but as most crafters, you know, we get tired of doing the same thing over and over. It's a recipe for disaster. But anyway, I like to make bows handmade is my preference. And probably the Pro Bow is my second, and third is the Easy Bow. I just feel like with the Easy Bow Maker, there's so much play. It's hard for me to get a you know, a consistent look to it, especially like this size or this kind of bow. Somebody's ordered it and they want specific measurements. Hey Berlene, how are you? All right, let's see. We need the 1.5 inch. I like this ribbon a lot. If you follow me, you know I love anything with chenille or tinsel. But isn't that pretty? It's a really good bodied ribbon also. I used to have it in my shop, but I think it's sold out now. I may have some left. I can't remember. Over at boxmybow.com. If it is sold out, I need to get some more. Put that right up there. Let's try not to miss any pegs this time, Terry. That one. Like I said, it's kind of hard for to make this little bitty tiny bow. Well, it's not. It's really not tiny. It's, like I said, it's 8 inches, but it's kind of close quarters in here. And it's even harder. You can see this row right here where you make like the baby size bows. Not Texas baby. The baby. All right, let me see what ribbon next. Okay, we'll get this 2.5 inch canvas with the stars and the glitter. And a lot of these tails I'll probably have to cut down, but I like to do that toward the end. Even when I'm like designing a wreath or something, a lot of times I'll save my tails to the very end. So it's easier to have them a little long and cut them off than to have to wish you hadn't. In my opinion. Pinch. You see my board's kind of sliding around there. I'm missing one of the footies off of it. My board's old. I've had it, gosh, forever. But it has these little like gel footies on it, and I'm missing one. All right, now we're going to come in with this 2.5 inch of the tinsel stars and stripes ribbon here. Go over there. One thing you want to watch for when you're pinching your ribbon, you want to make sure your edges are turned under. So that's going to help your bow loops and your tails to lay a little better. I'll show you what I mean here. Like right here, I've got those edges turned under instead of turned over. And see the back side of the ribbon? You don't want that. You want to be sure you've got that edge tucked under. And we're going to twist all the way. Back here and pinch, edges turned under, twist, tie it off. And you know, when you're using this pro bow, you don't have to change ribbons like this. If you want to use the same ribbon throughout the whole bow, you can do that. All right, now my red. I just finished this off with just a basic red canvas just to kind of highlight the bow, kind of serve as a background so you can appreciate all these beautiful ribbons. And we're going to pinch. Oh, that needs to be a little bit longer. Now, if I wanted this even shorter or even smaller, I could always double up on my pegs. You know, put two ribbons on one peg. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it just like this. Okay. Let's get this off the board and we'll get it fluffed. off there. Let's get this out of the way. And like I say, I usually give it a little squeeze just to make it a little tighter in the center here. And I'm going to put my zip ties on. And if you missed before, we had a broken wire, and that's exactly why I use, I put zip ties on here, because the 26 gauge wire will break. But it's a lot easier to work with. Pipe cleaner. I usually just use the pliers here just to pull that in a little bit tighter. It doesn't have to be super tight, but just enough to where it's going to hold that ribbon if something happens, that wire does break. All right, now let me get my clips off. And the fluff box. Again, if you don't have one and you're using a pro bow, you don't know what you're missing. All right, and again, we'll bring the tails out one side, the loops out the other. And I alternate which side I took this loop this way, so I'm going to take this loop the other way as we go up. There we got a pretty uneven tail. I'm going to trim this up when I see it. Alright, then this one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring that over this way. Just kind of balance out those two ribbons there. I think I like it better that way. And then open up our little inner loop here. And let's trim this down. Alrighty. Now that one is done. Let's trim off the wire and then tuck it under. Okay. And there we go. There we got our bow order done. I just got to pack them up now. So, does anybody have any questions? Can you show how to twist the wire after you add the ribbon? All I do, let me see if I can find some. I use a pipe cleaner because it's easier to see. Yeah, I'm just taking the ribbon is sitting right on the inside here of the two pieces of wire, and then I just twist it just like that. Just twist it around it, and then the key is you want to keep one up and one down so it's out of your way. But it's nothing really difficult. Just just make sure your ribbon's in there and then twist it. Sandwich it right in between those two wires. while it's still on the board. I'll try. It's really hard to see the wire though. Like I said, it's 26 gauge wire, so it's really hard to, well, I can use a pipe cleaner though. Let's see. Let me get a piece of junky wire or ribbon here. Yeah, I thought I had some, but anyway, you're going to take your, let's see, I'm trying to think how to do this without starting a completely different, I mean, you're going to have your ribbon up here, say, you're going to pinch it, and you're just going to wrap your wire around this to hold it secure. That goes up there, and this goes down here on that peg. And those are going to be out of the way. So then you're going to come in here with your next wire, and it's going to be right down that center loop. And that, you know, this is for this particular style of bow with a center loop. It's a little bit different if you don't have a center loop. But that wire is just going to be, that second wire is just going to be kind of looped right around that center of that bow. And then I'm going to set my ribbon in here. Whoops. I'm going to set my ribbon in here. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to set my ribbon in there, and then all you do is just twist it just like that. And you're going to have one going up and one going down out of your way. But that's all there is to it. Does that answer your question? Ruth wanted to know, where did I get the square box, the fluff box? That is also on Regina's site. I actually have it marked or listed, or linked, I should say. If you go to shopliketeri.com. Oh, what happened here? If you go to shopliketeri.com, you'll see it. It's linked there. I'm trying to get logged in here, guys. They kicked me off, so I can't see comments now until oh, now it says maximum temps reached. Okay. Well, okay, I hope that answered your question. Let me see. Maybe I can look up here. Okay, it did. Good. Good deal. But like I said, if, Ruth, I'm going to have to pull you up here so I can see, because like I said, it kicked me off on my laptop. But if you go to shopliketeri.com, I have it linked right there, the fluff box. And I don't get a commission or anything off of that. It's just, it'll take you over to, it should take you to Regina's shop. That looks kind of silly, doesn't it? Look here. Let's see if I can get this better. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, you're welcome, Ruth. And like I said, it's a game changer. I did not get it for the longest time. But once I did, I thought it was a waste of money. I thought, well, I got two hands, but it really makes a difference if you have your hands free to fluff your bow. So, all right, let me see if there's any questions over here. Okay, I don't see any. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, I've got to get these boxed up and get them off to the post office as well as some other orders. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And you have a great rest of your day. And I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.